Cigars and automatas, it's reserved for bosses only. The prestige of where we are, small circle, it's members only. Went from grinding to rich forever. We was down, now we ball forever.
I'm Lou. Today we are coming to you. We're recording today from Got Cigars in downtown Decatur. Mama Puff shirt on. She was so gracious to allow us to come in and record here today in Got Cigars. Y'all know from if you see me on Instagram and you see me on Facebook, I'm here a lot. This is like one of my favorite post-up spots, a hidden gem in downtown Decatur.
So and chill, so relaxed, comfy seats.
It's wonderful. Wonderful.
Good oxygen.
Great oxygen. Great atmosphere, great spirit. So if ever you're in downtown Decatur, please come by and check out Got Cigars. Great humidor, great selection of cigars, great people. Catch us out here on Friday on the sidewalk when it's warm and we are causing a riot at any time.
At all times.
And I'm sitting here today with the one, the only, the extra plus Shun Griffin. Rare Occurrence Cigars. We met not too long ago and absolutely clicked, and we had so much in common, such a past in common, such an experience together. It was bananas. And I was like, man, I got to get you on camera. And we had some trials and tribulations this morning, but we came through them all. And we are here, and
shaking and moving,
it's again a blessing. It's a great blessing.
That's what we do.
So let's start out with you. Where you from? Tell us about you. This is general.
I'm known as Shun. I'm from Gary, Indiana, by way of Chicago. Born and raised in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was a pastor, grandfather, deacon, uncle, pastors. I was recently elevated as an overseer.
Oh, that's right. Congratulations.
Still rocking and moving. Big internal battle with myself in starting this cigar line.
Mm-hmm.
But I had an awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I came alive. I had a double heart attack, and it changed my thinking pattern. I stopped thinking like a lot of people. I'm going to say it like that. A lot of people. I stopped setting myself up for other people's expectation, not even knowing what those expectations were.
Uh-huh.
We live in people's thoughts or what we think they think of us, right?
Right.
And you're not free until you just start trying things, until you just start seeing what's for you. I say now, life is for the living.
It is.
So get to living. My friend had put this vision in my heart about a year ago, and I kept shooing her away. And I had the double heart attack. I sat on my butt for at least like 3 months, and I couldn't factor like, what am I supposed to do with my life now? Because everything that I was doing in logistic management was too hard on my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, God, what we gonna do? I can't stay on this couch forever.
Mm-hmm.
Taryn called again. She said, what you gonna do about the cigar line?
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching YouTubes and started researching the cigars. Now, mind you, I've been smoking cigars since about 2014. My very first cigar was in Mexico.
Okay.
Cancun, Mexico, and had no idea what I was doing. The most I had smoked was a Black and Mild.
Okay. Well, one question. I normally don't interrupt the story.
It's all good.
But this is the point. Did you choke?
Man, I choked. I thought I was gonna die. That was not a cigarette. Like,
no, it's not.
I hit the ground. I was wait. Like everything in my throat and chest burned. So I kept smoking the cigar, and it got good to me. It was a Romeo Juliet. I think it was 1875. And I said, I felt like Scarface. All right, thank you. Take care. Another satisfied customer, people. I felt like Scarface. I felt like I could rule the world. It's something about having a cigar in your hand. I felt like a boss. I had no idea what I was smoking. I asked him, first thing I asked him, what you got sweet? He said nothing. I said, well, I've never smoked a cigar before. Where do I start? So he gave me that one, and I enjoyed it.
So would you say that that's the moment that you fell in love with cigars?
That was the very moment.
Because that's normally my first question. You just went right on into it. I love it. I love it.
I mean, it was no turning back for me. It was no turning back. I went back in, and then not knowing that it was my first, how much the cigar was supposed to cost. I paid $20 for that one little cigar. When I got home and researched it, I was pissed. I said, he got me. He got me.
You enjoyed the experience.
He got me. I was upset because I paid so much money. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. Like, if I could get it for less, I'm going to research and I'm going to get it for less.
I get you.
I got home and I researched and I started trying different cigars. Trying to figure out what was my profile. I was a little newbie, so I tried the little Tatianas. I love it. The groovy blue. Oh man. Then I had ran into I came back and told one of my coworkers. I said, man, I had my cigar. I like cigars now. He said, well, what you smoking? I said, man, I got this Tatiana. He said, that's not a cigar.
You gotta start somewhere.
That's not a cigar.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, he put me on Monte Cristos.
Okay.
So I went from there to Monte Cristos. I like the nubs. I like the Olivias. So I started playing and tasting the tobacco, just getting a feel for it, man. And here we are. I started practicing rolling. And here, YouTube is my friend. That little trick I taught you today.
Yes,
I got that from Arnold Schwarzenegger off of YouTube. And I do that to every cigar now. It takes it to another level.
I like it. I'm enjoying this, but I'm enjoying your cigar. Right now, I'm getting this airy. I like that.
So I have everything from sweet infused sweet shies are my number one seller. The Lucci's are a big seller, and I hate to put this out here, but when I go to different events, you know what they ask? Well, you know what the guys ask me for?
What?
Do you have anything sweet?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I got something sweet. You really want some? You don't want the Maduro? He said, no, I want something sweet. I want something sweet and mild. I'm like,
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Come back. I prep it for him. I punch it for him. I said, now taste it. It's like, this is really good. This is really, really good. And for a person who likes sweet cigars, it hits them every time. Every time.
See, I mean, but you have something for everyone. So what's the name of the one that I'm smoking right now?
That is the Lucci.
Okay,
that's the 60 by 60 double gordo.
Okay.
Which is very hard to wrap, by the way.
Really?
The thicker they are, the harder they are to wrap and stay closed. Yep.
Cool.
That's what I do.
So she answered my two basic questions like up front without me asking. I would think you've been watching Lou.
Nah,
it's just that
preachers talk a lot.
And preachers talk alike.
Preachers talk a lot.
And I haven't said this like on this platform before, but we both have a background in ministry. I pastored at one point in time. I know it's hard to believe, but not really. But and so that was one of the things that connected us when we met, because when we started talking, you start talking about ministry. I'm like, yeah, I pastored for a period of time.
Yep.
And so it just sets in your spirit.
Yeah.
And then once we discovered that we had that ministry background together, we was friends for real.
Instantly.
We do the struggle.
We are here. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we got the struggle. Yeah, we understood. But I mean, it's just like you oftentimes people take for granted the fact that you are called to places. How many times have you wanted to go somewhere just out of the blue? It was just an urge to get there. And then it's like, I really don't want to do it, but I know I need to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that evening that I came into contact with you was one of those evenings where I was like, I have so many other things that I really want to do.
This place is far. Everything in Georgia is far, by the way. For real. And the traffic is ridiculous. Like, nothing in Georgia is less than 30, 45 minutes. Seriously.
It's like
and
that.
God forbid if some dummy done tore up their car. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap for you.
You're sitting up. You can't do nothing but wait.
It's a wrap for you. It's a wrap for you.
Cigars teach you patience, though.
Cigars teach you a lot.
They teach you a lot.
Especially when you're someone that moves around a lot. A cigar requires you to sit still.
Yeah.
It requires you to stay in one place. It requires you, as you're sitting, you contemplate a whole lot.
You're in the present. You're in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's a place that I was in, that I wasn't in quite frequently before I had the heart attack. I was just going. Just going. When you a minister, when you're with the church, with your career, with your family, with life, shuffling and moving, you're just
going, constantly
going, and you're not in the presence. And that's why that's one of the reasons why I had the heart attack, because I was not in my present to understand what my health was. I was just that on the go person. I gotta do this. I gotta get this done. I gotta move like this. And your body says, hey, wake up, dummy. Stop.
Yeah. But for me, it was more so like I stayed busy so that I wouldn't sit still, because I knew that when I got to a place of sitting still,
you gotta think and be responsible.
And that's when God talks to me and tells me stuff I don't want to hear.
My grandmother said that to me when I was 21 years old. I had moved in with my grandmother for a spell, and I was on the go all the time, on the go, just in the streets, moving around. And she said, "You're not sitting still because you don't want the Lord to speak to you."
Oh yeah, nah.
And I was just like, and that was. I had accepted my call, but I was not working in my call at that point. And I was just like, growing up, watching my dad, watching my uncles. My uncle, we used to come down here every summer for my uncle, the great Bishop Reuben Speaks. And we would sit in church for hours. For hours. So I knew everything what people want the title, but they don't know what that work entails. And I was just like, I was like, oh man, then my dad, the pastor, like we was in church every day. My mom worked in the church, at the community service, at the corporation of the church. And we was there every day after school. And when I got older, I was like, you know what? I said, you know what? I am not going to church when I get old. I'm not doing it. I'm not interested in it. I will not spend the rest of my life in church. It's not going to happen. And here we are. Still there.
Still there.
Still there.
Still there.
Still there.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just the fact of, when one thing that was me, you're making me go back to that mindset of being there. But it was just more so of, I say preachers have two roads that they can take. And we're all confronted with the choice. One road is the road of glitz and glamour. That's they want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be out front. They want to be the mega superstar. And then there's the road where people do the work. And the work is not glamorous.
It's not.
The work is not
very dirty,
often seen.
Very muddy.
The work is with the people. With the people, not above the people. And that was my thing. I would tell people like straightway, if you want to take anything out of the Bible and you want to understand it, if that's the way you want to come, study the life of Jesus. That's it. That's all. That's done. You're finished. Because once you learn that it's not being above the people, it's being with the people. And one thing that I would do on Sunday mornings, like I said, you making me go into the memories. The first person that you saw when you came to my church was not an usher. It was me. I greeted everyone when they came in the door. So I'm putting this out so y'all can attest to that. You see this. They saw me. I was the first person that they saw when they came in the building. I did away with the preachers in the preacher study. They were not in preacher study. We were out front for praise and worship. They were like, we're going to go to the study. No, we're not. We're out here for praise and worship. This is where we're at. This is where we are. We're with the people. I did away with the preacher table. They were like, do you have a table for us? I'm like, no, we sit with the people here. We sit, and even, at the end of service, I would always say, if you're here and I didn't greet you when you came in, I need to greet you before you leave.
That's right.
And I would stand out there and I would greet each and every person before I ate, before I did anything else, because the people were important to me. They were the most important thing. And when you take that road of servanthood, It's not as glamorous, but I tell you, I reap the rewards of that even now.
Yep.
Even now.
Yep.
So when you take the place with the people, the other stuff is there. You are who
and it's
you
going to
are.
be there.
But to really, in my opinion, take control of your charge, it's amongst the people.
Serving with the people.
Yes.
And serving the people.
Yes.
Yep. 1,000.
And that's where true ministry is. Before you preach a sermon.
Yep.
Before you do anything else.
Yep.
It's about the people. Because if you don't have a relationship with the people, they're not even going to come back. They're not really going to, people are attracted to lights, camera, action. Absolutely, they are. But when you get to the point where you're saying it's not about the lights, it's not about the camera, it's not about the action, it's not about what I'm wearing, it's not about, how beautiful my church is. It's about this call that God placed on my life, and it's about me being here with the people that He wants me to touch